So before we get into this compensation plans, okay, so the first thing which you should know is the term called as FTE. What does this term means? This means full-time equivalent. Okay, full-time equivalent, full-time equivalent. So this is nothing but uh, this is calculated based on scheduled weekly hours, and hence the percentage will show up. Okay, like for example, what I exactly mean is percentage by show up is, let's say there is an employee. Okay? There's an employee one, and he is working for 32 hours in a week. Okay? There's an employee one who's working for 32 hours, and his salary $100,000. His salary is $100,000. Now, how will a FTE be calculated based on the percentage? So the calculation of FTE would be 32 divided by 40. In a week, there are 42 hours, correct? But this employee has worked only for 32 hours in a week. So, how will this be calculated? This will be calculated like 32 divided by 40. This will be approximately 80%, right? 80%. 80% of $100,000 is $80,000. So this will be his salary calculation. See, all these calculations you don't have to do in Workday. This is just an example, just for your understanding as how this full-time equivalent be calculated. Okay, this is one example where an employee is working for 32 hours, which is less than 40 hours. The normal standard working hour in any country, let's say US, in US it's 40 hours a week. But this employee has worked only for 32 hours. So how much salary would he get? So for 32 hours, he would get $80,000, right? You just simply divide 32 by 40. Now let's take another example where employee 2, okay, there's an employee 2, there's an employee 2 who has worked more than 40 hours. Okay, let's say he has worked for 48 hours. The normal FTE time in US is 40 hours. He has one employee has worked less. So of course his full-time salary will be calculated on 80%, and it will be 80,000. He has worked more. So will he get more? Of course. So you just simply divide 48 by 40, and this becomes 120. Right? So now he would be getting $120,000. This is how a FTE is calculated with a simple formula. Just divide the working hours with the default hours, and you will get the percentage, and accordingly will be his salary. Now, here there is a concept. His salary is only $100,000. How can he get $120,000? He cannot get. So how will the company pay the employee? What company will do is they will pay only $100,000 as salary, plus they will pay this as an allowance, bonus allowance, like overtime allowance. So this will become $120,000. Okay, salary will never change. Your salary is fixed. If you are earning more than your salary, which means it falls under different types of allowances. That's the reason I showed you this screen where it talks about different types of incentives. You get commissions, you get bonuses, you get one time payment, allowances, right? So these are different types of regular salary base, incentives, and ad hoc. So this is where your most of your amount which you get monthly or yearly will be divided. Everything will be divided here. Let's say you have a mobile plan, or if you have a car allowance plan, so all that will fall under car allowance. Let's say you have any bonus, it will fall under bonus. Let's say you are working in a sales job, so you'll have some commissions. Okay, like let's say if you close a deal, you get 20%, so that falls under commission. Let's say your company is offering stocks. If you stay for 5 years, so that comes under stock. One time payment, I already told you, like a joining bonus or retention bonus. Allowance, you already know. Salary is like 1 year annual salary. Hourly is nothing but $50 per hour, $60 per hour. So that concept, right? So let's see how the salary plan looks in the tenant and how you can edit the salary plan. Okay, there is only one salary plan which is available, and it is created by the implementer. Okay, at the initial level. After that, you will not be able to change. I mean, you are not supposed to change the salary plan as per logic. You're not supposed to change the salary plan. Whatever is designed at the zero level, when you are starting the building the tenant, at that point of time salary plan will be created, and that's all. Okay, you are not supposed to create any other salary plan. Similarly, hourly plan is also created the same way, and then comes the allowance plan. Okay, there are different types of allowances which are available. I want you to make note of it. We will see all of these allowances when we have the tenant. For now, let's know what are the different types of allowances in Workday. We have, and this is an interview question. Okay, if there is any question which is coming up from compensation topic, it will be this. There are different types of compensation uh, allowance plans available. Sorry, not different types. There are three types. Okay, specifically three types. Three types of allowances. The first one is amount based. The second one is percent based, and the third one is unit based. Now, as the name says, amount, percent, and unit, the definition of these allowances are the same. Okay, what do you mean by amount based? Amount based means, for example, there is a internet allowance. Okay, example is internet allowance. Very simple example. If your company has an internet allowance, they will pay you monthly 1,000 rupees. Yeah, by default, whether you are on leave, whether you are working, you're not working, you are on a long holiday, or you have worked only for 10 days in a month, they will pay you 100,000 rupees by default. 1,000 rupees by default. This is called as amount. They will give you an amount. Monthly, they will give you 1,000 rupees as an internet allowance. So this kind of allowance, which is fixed, which is where we're talking about a money, where we're talking about an amount, is called as amount based. We will create these types of amount based plans. Is that clear? Then comes percentage based. Now, what do you mean by percentage based? Let's say your company decides to pay uh, mm, okay, let's say your base pay is your base pay. What is base pay? Base pay means your basic pay, which you get in your salary slip, right? So let's say your base pay is in a year 10 lakhs. Okay, your base pay is 10 lakhs. Now, if the company wants to give you percentage based allowance for any reason, okay, for any reason, if they want decide to give you percentage based allowance, what they will do is they will take the base pay. They will take the base pay, and this is in general. Okay, any company across the globe, if they want to give you percentage based allowance, they will take the base pay only. Okay, they will not consider any other components. They will consider only the base pay, your basic pay. Okay, and they will take the 10 lakh rupees, and they will decide how much percentage of 10 lakhs should be your percentage allowance. Okay, let's say they want to give you 10%, 10% of basic pay. So 10% of basic pay will be 1 lakh rupees. This is how percentage based will be calculated. We will be creating the percentage based plan as well, right? Any questions here on percentage base? Now, let me tell you, this base pay for Shiv it is 10 lakhs. Priyanka, it can be different. For Shibla, it can be different, more or less. Okay, it depends upon the grade level the employee is at the particular organization. A person can be a manager, a person can be a lead, a person can be a junior level, an associate, a new joiner. So for everybody, the base pay will differ. So accordingly, if you create a 10% of base pay, everybody's percentage base allowance will be different, right? So that's how we give percentage base allowance. Now let's see unit base. Now the best example for unit base is, let's say your company is offering you petrol allowance, okay, travel allowance, which is petrol allowance. So they are giving you petrol allowance. Now, what your company will do in unit basis for petrol allowance, they will tell you, okay, I will pay you per month um 30 liters of petrol. 30 liters of petrol. Now, they are paying you 30 liters of petrol in a month. So, what does this mean? Exactly 30. It's a unit, right? They are paying you 30 liters or 50 liters. So, that unit is called as unit based plan. Okay, anything which you specify unit wise, quantity wise, is called as unit based plan. So petrol allowance is one of the best example which I can come up with. And now there is one small difference between these two plans and this plan. Okay, make note of this. Okay, this is also part of an interview question. In unit based plan, you have to submit a reimbursement. Reimbursement to be submitted for this 30 liters of petrol. Okay? And also, there is another option which is called as non-reimbursement. There are two options: non-reimbursement. So, in what happens in reimbursement, what happens in non-reimbursement. So, these two are part of unit-based only. So, if you are in a unit-based plan and if you are under reimbursement, which means you will have to submit the bill. Reimbursement to be submitted for 30 liters of petrol via a bill. Non-reimbursement, what happens is, if you are in unit-based plan and if you are marked as non-reimbursement, even if you do not submit the bill, you'll get this 30 liters of petrol charges. Okay, you'll get 30 liters of petrol charges. But here in reimbursement, you will have to submit 30 liters of petrol charges bill. Let's say you have not used 30 liters in a month, you have used only 20 liters. So you will have to submit that 20 liters bill, else you will not get paid. This is the problem with reinvestment. Is that clear? Right. So I'll repeat again. Amount based is nothing but you have a fixed amount which is given every month to the employee. The best example is internet allowance. Percentage based means on your base pay, there will be a certain amount of percentage which will be decided by the company, and you will be getting that particular percent from your base pay. And unit is nothing but specific units, for example, petrol or gallons or liters of petrol which you use in a month. Let's say 50 is the maximum you can get, right? So if you're marked under reinvestment, you have to submit a bill for 50. If you don't have 50, you have 20, bill for 20 liters, you'll get only paid for 20 liters. If you have bill for all 50 liters, you get all 50 liters paid. That is under reinvestment. But if you're marked under unit based and non reinvestment, in that case, you don't have to submit any bills. You just get 50 liters of petrol by default. Now, this is called unit based. So when we are creating these three plans, I will show you I'll show you how it is done. And when I come to unit based, I will show you what are the different types of units. This is one example, which is petrol. But when we create a unit base, we will see there are so many different units available in Workday, not just petrol. Many things are available. Any questions so far on allowances? Okay. Coming to one-time payment. So this is an ad hoc payment. This is an ad hoc plan, right? So this ad hoc plan is nothing but very simple. One-time payment is what? New hire bonus, joining bonus, right? And then you have retention bonus. Retention means a person is trying to leave, and then the company offers them, like, I'll pay you 5 lakh rupees, stay back with us for another 2 years. That is called retention bonus. Then you get referral bonus. You refer any of your friend, you get one-time bonus, referral bonus. So such kind of one-time plans can be created in Workday based on the requirement. We will see how to create all those different types of plans. Okay, we'll see how to create salary, we'll see how to create hourly, we'll see how to create allowances. Any questions so far?
Shrikant just
Question
wanted
for
to
you.
tell that I
Can
was
somebody
able
tell
to
me?
log in, but I'm not able
Yeah.
to share the screen.
Sorry, once it come again.
I was able to log in, but I'm not able to share the screen.
Okay, I have a question for you guys. What is a compensation package? Comp package. What is comp package?
It's a
Compensation package.
compensation grade, and the compensation plan is called the compensation plan. That's the guidelines to the pay range.
Exactly. That's right. So we will create a compensation package, and we will combine the grade and the plan. Okay.
Right.
The combination of a plan and a grade is called as compensation package. Okay. Grade plus plan equal to compensation package. Okay. So when I have the access, I'll show you how to create a compensation package. The task is create compensation package. If you want to just try, whosoever have the access, just try compensation package. You'll be able to see the screen. You'll see compensation grade, you'll see compensation plan. So when you fill all of that information and click OK, that package is created. Okay, so where is this compensation? Look at my screen. So where is this compensation used? Where all this compensation event is used? So you will use this compensation in proposed compensation higher. See, this is an interview question. If somebody is asking you what are the different events of compensation, when I say event, event is nothing but uh, where will you use this compensation, or where is the compensation already used? See, for example, I'm hiring a new employee. Okay, so I have to give him a compensation, right? So today is what's the date today? Today is 11th. Okay, so let's say I'm hiring a guy today. So if I'm hiring a person today, logically I would have given him a package already, which is compensation already, and his onboarding is to be completed today. That's the logic. Okay, that's the normal process. So when I give the compensation and he's joined today, which means compensation business process is triggered. Okay, only when a business process is triggered, which means something is completed, something is submitted. If something is submitted related to compensation, it becomes an event. Okay, if you do any correction in your name, for example, I'm telling you another example. Let's say Shiv is, sorry, one second. small. Shiv is changing his legal name from Shiv to Shiva. Okay, he's just adding A. Now, if you do such kind of transactions in Workday, there is an event triggered, and that event will be name correction or legal name correction, right? So, similarly, for compensation, if there is anything which is related to compensation which is completed, is called as an event. So, there are different types of events in Workday which will trigger. One is called as proposed compensation hire, other one is proposed compensation change. When I say proposed compensation hire, which means if a new hire is joining, that process is called as proposed compensation hire. If the new hire is already joined and then you are making any changes to his compensation, let's say you are giving him bonus, not bonus, let's say you're giving him hike, which means changing his compensation, right? So at that point of time, proposed compensation change will trigger. There's something else called as proposed compensation offer. This is the first process when you offer a candidate that I'm going to pay you 10 lakh rupees. So that particular event is called as compensation offer. So these are the different events which will trigger for compensation. Apart from this, there is something called as request compensation change.
Sir, excuse me. Can you tell me what is proposed compensation offer? One second. The last
Proposed
one.
compensation offer is nothing but uh, at the initial level when you are recruiting a candidate, you will have to offer him some package, right? So that offering, that package which you offer triggers this particular event when you are recruiting him at the initial level. Just a moment. Hire, proposed compensation change, and proposed compensation offer or employee agreement. And apart from that, there are other tasks which can trigger another types of event. Like say for you, you're changing a salary. So compensation request compensation change will occur. If you're changing a grade, what is grade? Nothing but the salary range. Request grade change will occur. So these are the different events which you will be able to see in Workday. Any questions so far? This page is very important. Compensation defaulting. Okay, and it's an interview question. How is the compensation being defaulted? That's the question. Okay, the interviewer will ask you how is the compensation being defaulted. So this is how it will get defaulted through compensation package. You have eligibility rule. So this eligibility rule will be added to the worker or the position. As I told you, we add eligibility rule to job profile, right? So in job profile, where do you add job profile? You add it in position. Have I shown you how to create a position? When we create a position, we select job profile, and under job profile we add grade and grade profile, right? So this page is explaining how is the compensation getting defaulted automatically for an employee. When I hire an employee, when I let's say I'm hiring an employee today, so when I hire an employee, I will add a position for him, right? What will the position contain? The position will contain a job profile, which means job description. Along with job description, it will also contain grade, right? So grade means it will have a salary range, okay, 10 lakhs to 15 lakhs. So when you select a particular position which is having a fixed job profile, by default, the employee will get a salary range from 10 to 15 lakhs. Is this clear so far?
Yes, Shrikant.
Right. So I'll repeat again. When you're hiring a person, you will tag him to a position. Okay. So position will have a job profile. Job profile will have a salary range, which is called grade. Okay. So automatically that person whom you're hiring will fall under that grade, 10 lakhs to 15 lakhs package. How is this happening? How is this compensation getting defaulted? It is getting defaulted through job profile, which you tag to the position. One. Okay. The second thing is, the second way to default compensation is eligibility rule. You see here on the screen, the first way is eligibility rule, and the second way is worker or position. Right? In the position, we tag job profile. These are the two ways. Now, there is an important point to remember. Defaulting from the position, which means if the compensation is getting defaulted from the position, will override what is defaulted from eligibility rule. Okay. Anything which you are choosing from the position will be the priority. Your eligibility rule will not be the priority. Okay, got this? So make note of this point. Defaulting from the position will override whatever is defaulted through eligibility rule. And defaulting of compensation happens through the job profile, where you add the grade or grade profile or the package. So moving on to the next slide, this is where you will know how default compensation and assigned compensation works. So default compensation lives on the position, as I told you, job profile. Okay, in position you select a job profile, so it lives on the position. Can be set prior to hire, fill on the position. Of course, we create a position, only then we hire a candidate, right? So we are setting a job profile compensation before we are hiring somebody. Can be changed at any time on the position without affecting the worker compensation. So I can go ahead and change that job profile anytime in that particular position, right? Once the hire is completed, let's say I've hired somebody today, and it's been I've hired somebody 10 days back. Okay, 1st of April, I've hired somebody 1st of April, and he's been working for 10 days. Today, if I go ahead and change, do some modifications in the position, that's fine. I can do that changes, no problem. Assigned compensation, as in you are manually assigning it. It's not getting defaulted, you are manually assigning it. It lives on the worker. Default compensation on the position. Okay, so now the difference is default compensation is on the position, whereas if you assign a compensation, it will be on the worker. The person whom you're hiring, it will be on the worker. Can only be assigned when a worker fills the position. Can be changed at any time without affecting default compensation. So all this is nothing but you are uh, the best example is you are giving promotion. Okay, when you give promotion, what happens? Your compensation changes. If your package is 10 lakhs, you get 30% hike. Your package will be 13 lakhs. So that change of compensation is where is we call it as assigned compensation. Whereas default compensation is nothing but when you are getting hired at that point of time, whatever your salary is, that is called as default compensation. Is this clear? Any questions? Okay, I have this next slide which will help you troubleshoot the defaulting compensation. Uh, so I just want you to take a screenshot of this, or just yeah, take a screenshot of this and just go through this. These are all basic troubleshootings for compensation defaulting, and these can also be your interview questions if it comes to compensation defaulting. All what I told you so far is all covered here. Okay, package is not getting defaulted, then what could be the issue? Grade is not getting defaulted, what could be the issue? Plan is not getting defaulted, what could be the issue? So just take a screenshot of this. Okay, so do we have any questions so far on whatever theory session we had today? Yeah,
Oh,
show you all of this: how to create, edit plans, allowances, how to create a package, how to add that package in the job profile. I'll show you all of that.
fine.
Okay, so we'll connect tomorrow by 8:30, and we'll try to work around, do this work in Workday, and we will learn how it is done.
Okay, sure.
Right? Okay then. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Shikar.